We begin this morning with President Trump meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin at the G20 Economic Summit in Hamburg, Germany, for their first face-to-face talks. One of the topics of discussion, Russian meddling in last year's presidential election.
Secretary of State Rex Tillerson says Mr. Trump and Mr. Putin agreed the allegations have become a hindrance to better relations between the U.S. and Russia. But in the meeting, Mr. Putin reportedly denied any meddling, and accounts of President Trump's response to that are under dispute.
This morning, thousands of demonstrators are massing for a third straight day of protests outside the G20 summit. Major Garrett is in Hamburg. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. Until last night, protests against this G20 summit and economic globalization, which is at the heart of its mission, were mostly a sideshow, occasionally disruptive, but little more. Well, that's changed, and now German police are bracing for the biggest crowds yet and the prospect of still more violence. Protests at the G20 raged overnight. Fires and looting increased the sense of chaos surrounding the summit. The German government summoned reinforcements to confront an estimated 100,000 protesters expected to converge on Hamburg for the summit's final day. So far, more than 200 German police have been injured and nearly 100 protesters arrested or detained. President Trump referenced the disturbances in remarks to German Chancellor Angela Merkel.
It's been really incredible the way things have been handled, and nothing's easy. They seem to follow your G20s around, but you have been amazing.
The president also talked about his lengthy meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Rex and I had a tremendous meeting yesterday with President Putin.
Mr. Trump and Secretary of State Rex Tillerson huddled with Putin and Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov for 2 hours and 15 minutes. The president raised but did not press the issue of Russian meddling in the 2016 election. In an off-camera briefing, Tillerson said Putin denied ordering, as the U.S. intelligence community has concluded, unprecedented cyber attacks during the campaign.
The president's rightly focused on how do we move forward from what may be simply an intractable disagreement at this point.
On North Korea, Tillerson said the U.S. and Russia also disagree about the immediacy of the nuclear threat.
There is a difference in terms of view around tactics and pace, and so we will continue to work with them to see if we cannot persuade them as to the urgency that we see.
Democrats in Congress accused the president of failing to stand up and confront Putin about election interference. When asked to describe the encounter, Russia's foreign minister said Mr. Trump, quote, accepted Putin's blanket denial of election interference. Dana?
Major Garrett in Hamburg, Germany. Major, thank you.